Yes, hello. Hey, it's lovely to be here. My name is Matt, as Ria said. Nice to meet you all. In case you're wondering, look at me for a few seconds already. Yes, I'm the answer to the question, what happens when someone with a baby face hits their mid-30s? Yeah, this little fella. Yeah, not an adult's face, it turns out. Just a sort of weirdly aging baby face. Oh, you look when you're older, man. You look really young. No, I just never look the correct age. In fact, something I learned recently, right, this is true, is that babies literally cannot take their eyes off me. Yeah. Yeah, I think they might think I'm their leader. Yeah, I'll be in a cafe or something, woman comes in with a baby in a buggy, as soon as it sees me, its eyes lock onto mine. It's like he's waiting for further instructions. So it's nice to be here in London, lovely club here as well. You never know where you're going to perform. Done all sorts of weird gigs over the years. I did a show in a church recently, that's quite strange. Don't really like churches. It worked out why. It's because to get into most churches, you have to go through a graveyard. Don't you? And I just think, what other place of business would surround itself with the corpses of previous customers? Think about it, you don't have that at Tesco, would you? Hello sir, welcome to Tesco, here are the trolleys, and over here we've got the Club Card Memorial Garden. Remember our slogan, every little helps, and everybody dies. Alright London, I'm not from here, I'm actually from Yorkshire originally. Yes, obviously lost the accent for career reasons. Someone regretting a woo over there now. But I do like it, I've lived here a long time, but there are little things about London life that still confuse me. Here's a good example. I never know when to finish a conversation on the tube. Right? When I'm getting off at the next stop, but my friend isn't. Yeah, it's awkward, isn't it? Particularly if you do it too early. If you like it, alright Dan, this is my stop coming up, so I'll say goodbye now. Or I'll see you soon. Bye then. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, we are currently holding a queue. We're going to start here about 3 or 4 minutes. Apologies. Friendly this is my course. It's awful, but I suppose it's worse if you do it too late, isn't it? Alright, Dan, this is my stop question. Sorry, can't even ask. How are you and Jen getting on? How's it going with Jen? Not great. Not great. Yeah, I think she might be having an affair. Oh my god, I have to go. It's nice. I'll tell you some stuff about me. I am married. Sorry. Well, fuck you. Been together a long time. We've been together nearly 20 years now, in fact, which is, yeah, I've had sex and everything. Yeah. A number of times. 8. No, don't worry, it's more than that. Don't worry, it's fine. There's loads. But, it's these triple figures. Anyway, the point is, we've been together a long time, right? And I think you notice these little patterns developing if you're in a long-term relationship, right? For example, my wife is very attractive. It means whenever I meet people with her for the first time, quite often I think one of these 2 phrases, either, you've done well. Oh, yeah, some classic, oh, you are punching above your weight. Yes, some of the men in here might have heard, you guys together? Because you probably heard this, you know what I'm talking about, right? And he's fine with that, he knows that's absolutely fair, right? He's a confident young man. But here the point is, right? The point is, you cannot say that to a woman. You absolutely can't. No. Don't even try. No, I was at an event recently, I thought her partner was looking great. I was like, ooh, you're punching above your weight. No, apparently that is not allowed. And I've ruined the wedding. Be careful. So we've been together a long time, been together so long, we've missed out on a few things, I feel like. Really was talking about Snapchat and stuff. I feel like I've totally missed out on all online dating. Never done it, never been involved in it, never done the apps, never been on Tinder, as far as anyone knows. Okay, here's my theory on Tinder, right? I reckon Tinder might be making people a bit lazy. What do you reckon? Not just relationship lazy, also physically lazy? Because to get rid of somebody now from your life, forever, if you think about it, it's just that, isn't it? What was that? 1 calorie? That's nothing, is it? That's no effort at all. Remember the old days, let's get rid of somebody, you had to use your whole arm. You know, like in a bar or something, get the fuck out of the way. Do you know what I mean? I know what I'm talking about, it happened to me a lot. I also feel like it really depends where you are, how these things work. Like I know a few people have used these things in big cities, London, Manchester, whatever, and they say it can be almost overwhelming number of matches you can get. But I also know a few people have used these apps in quite small towns or villages, and they've told me they've actually completed Tinder. Yeah, I don't know if Chingford, is that a thing for you guys? Somebody turned around and went, yeah, just did it last night, mate. Yeah, in the end it turns into a version of Pokemon Go, doesn't it? Gotta catch them all. Yeah, he's definitely done. Alright, fine. Gotta set the radius a bit higher, that's the thing. Not just 20 yards around my house. You again. Horrible. That isn't an app I use, it's not an app I use. There is one app I use all the time though, that is the Fitbit app. It's like a Fitbit, there it is, I'm wearing it, probably see. I got a Fitbit because my wife bought it for me a couple of years ago for Christmas, because we very much got to the point in our relationship where we no longer buy each other presents we think the other person will like, but things we think they need. For example, this year I got her a vibrator. Because my fingers get sore. Sorry, is that too much? Is what I keep asking her, she never says yes. Hence the gift. Anyway, point is, back to me. She got me this Fitbit, right? And they're great. If you don't know what they do, they basically measure your exercise, how many steps you take in a day. The other thing they do is they measure your heart rate, which I didn't realise, but it's great. It means that I can now check with sort of biological accuracy any time of day or night, whether or not I am excited. Yeah, it's like if you sat on the sofa watching a thriller on the telly with my wife or something. Oh, it's exciting, isn't it? No, it's not. It's going down, if anything, isn't it? I wear it all the time, which means I wear it in bed, which means that every morning I get a little sleep report on my phone. First thing I see, telling me how my sleep has been every day, right, which is great. It's like 8 hours of good sleep. It's like 5 hours of bad sleep. I'm like, well, today's fucked already, isn't it? Right? But because I wear it like all the time, I ended up wearing it recently during sex. Right? Yeah. And it turns out that my heart rate did not change. Which I think might mean that either I or she or both of us are quite bad at sex. Can I make it clear to everyone, by the way? I wasn't checking it like during the act. I wasn't halfway through going, sorry, I just need to. Ooh, we are going to have to pick up the pace. It wasn't that, it was afterwards. I get a little readout on my phone, and there's a graph. I was looking at the graph, and that's where we started having sex, and 3 minutes later, that's where we finished. It's just a straight line, isn't it? That is a shame. That is a shame. I've worked out, to get my heart rate up, to get like active minutes during sex, we're going to have to start having sex on a treadmill. Yeah, it's hard enough having sex standing up, isn't it? Let alone with everyone in the gym watching you. So, I'm getting a bit older. I lied a little bit at the beginning of the show. I said I was in my mid-30s, a bit of a lie. I'm actually in my late 30s. I'm 40. And so I feel like bits of my body are starting to misbehave. Like recently I discovered I was suffering from a tennis elbow in this arm, right? Yep, that's the correct response. No one ever gives a shit, right? Never. No one ever makes a single noise in public when I'm talking about it. Never. I think it's because, 2 reasons. I think number one, it sounds a bit posh. I think people think it's a bit posh, like a posh illness. I tell people they've got it. I can feel they're thinking in their head, oh yeah, but you've got tennis elbow. What else are you going to get? Lacrosse shoulder. You're going to raise your ankle falling off your dressage horse. But the other thing is, it's one of those weird illnesses that's got the name of an activity in its name. You don't have to have done to get that illness. I think there are 2 others like that. Athlete's foot. Yeah, don't have to be an athlete, do you? Just bad at driving. planet, that's all it is, right? And the other one I've had like that is housemaid's knee. Yeah, you get that one from kneeling a lot. I got that one from blowjobs. Begging for them. Found it out. Okay, fine. So, here we are. Okay, here's a little thing I was thinking the other day. Anyone else notice how, over the last couple of years or so, there's a certain kind of person who has stopped using the word yes, and has instead replaced it with 100%. Notice this? 100%. 100%, mate. 100%. 100%. 100%, mate. 100%. There's loads in this group. There's several. These are the people I'm talking about. 100%, 100%, 100%. Who is it? Yeah, it's it, isn't it? Yeah. It is. They're all pointing at each other. What's your name over there, sir? What? Archie, is it? 100%. Yeah. Okay. Play along, mate. But it's true, isn't it? I feel like people, I don't know why it is, suddenly 100%, I keep hearing it everywhere. I think people like Archie, right, what's going on in their heads is they feel like it's like accurate, it's like mathematical, like scientific, like they sound clever, yeah, so 100%, right? Well, if you're going to give me a reading, give me an accurate reading. Oh, wait, mate, do you think you can fix my car? 45%. Did you enjoy the film? 20%. Do you understand Brexit? 1%. That's me. That's definitely me. I don't know about the rest of you. I don't understand what's going on anymore. I thought I used to sort of understand what was happening in the world. I thought, not anymore. I don't understand. I'm worried, though. I'm definitely worried. I'm worried about loads of shit at the moment, right? Everything in the news seems to worry me. Particularly the environment. This year, first year where I've genuinely started getting worried about the environment. Don't know about you. It's been in the sort of back of my head for years. This year, for me, it wasn't all the protests. It wasn't any of that. It wasn't Greta Thunberg. It wasn't any of that. It was that week in February. Do you remember that week? It was really hot. A properly hot week in February. Really hot for a whole week. Freaked me the fuck out. Think about it. A few years ago, a hot week in February would just be a gift, wouldn't it? We'd all been like, hey. Now, a hot week in February, we're like, So you know about climate change. It's a bit like getting a roast dinner, but at 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, you want to be grateful. You know that something has gone terribly wrong. It's worrying, isn't it? Scary. What can we do? We're going to do our bit. That's what I keep thinking. We're going to do our bit. First thing I did, I thought, well, I've got to stop. Producing sort of CO2, get rid of the CO2 emissions. First thing I've done, I've stopped drinking sparkling water. Easy. Easy to do. Are you guys still? Think about it. Every time you open a bottle, that's CO2, isn't it? It goes straight to the atmosphere. I know it's not much, but every little counts. That's what. It's difficult though, so it can feel overwhelming. What can one person do against all this stuff? Like, I remember that week that Donald Trump said he was removing the US from the climate accords, the Paris climate change accords. I got quite depressed. I thought, oh, no. Then the same week, I started using a shampoo bar. So, kind of balanced it out. I mean, he does something, I do something. Ever since then, I've also gone vegetarian, so, you'll move, dickhead. You're welcome, guys. It's going to be fine. I mean, it's not with fuss, but we've got to try, haven't we? We've got to try. What can we do? There are things we've got to do. Flying less, that's the key thing. People keep telling me that. And it's tricky for this job. I'm always flying around the world for this job, and it does feel kind of difficult. And, okay, I quite like flying, that's the thing. Not all the time. Mostly when I go on my favourite airlines. Like, my favourite airline of all is, has always been Scandinavian Air when I go to Norway. Not because of the service, particularly, just because of the logo, which is SAS. Right? Yeah, it's on all the planes. I love it, because it means whenever I'm in an SAS plane, I'm a bit excited that they might put me on the wrong SAS plane. Yeah, when I get on, they'll give me like a rifle and a backpack. And drop me 30 miles away from my destination, have to fight my way there. A bit like Ryanair. And I'd happily not Ryanair fly again. I've flown with them so much recently. They're so terrible. They've changed their luggage requirements recently. If you've been on the flight, you'll know. So to some extent, I think the rule now is you're allowed to take a bag onto the plane as long as it fits in their mouth. We've got to deal with it. The green agenda is important. It's important. Green issues are important. But in they've always been important to me because I am called Green. That's my surname, Green. So for years, when people talk about the Green agenda, I assumed it was something to do with me. But I also quite like having a name. It's quite fun having a colour for a name. Don't forget the other colours in there. It's quite fun. I enjoy it. Like particularly when I was a kid. Like when I was like 12 years old, I went on a like an internet forum for the first time, like one of these chat rooms, and I had to give myself like a pseudonym. So I called myself Mr. Vert. V-E-R-T, which is green in French, because you don't know. That was quite pretentious 12-year-old, right? French is the language, don't worry about it. And the point is, right, I was on this forum, and for like 2 minutes I felt really cool. I was like, I'm a French. Everyone thinks I'm a Frenchman. It's cool. I'm a French. Bonjour. J'adore. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Someone just got so erect he knocked a glass off. That was amazing. French is a sexy language, yeah. Pour aller à la glace, s'il vous plaît. You know, it's French. But all that kind of stuff. So I felt really cool, right? Until about 2 minutes after the sort of forum opened, someone piped up and went, "What, Mr. Vert? As in pervert?" Didn't go very well. I had to delete that slide again, name myself after something a bit safer, call myself after one of my favourite pop stars at the time, call myself Mr. Glitter. So, in hindsight, worse. Learn to know. I don't know. What can you do? What can we do? There are things you can do. Stop flying, that's one of them, as I said. Okay, so what I've done is I've stopped flying not for work. So I still fly for work, but I've tried to stop doing any sort of holiday flying. So this year, instead of going, like, I don't know, to Spain or something on holiday, we decided to do a staycation. In my wife. Bit of tangent. I said that word staycation in front of a Bulgarian man the other day, and he was like, "Oh my god, I've never heard that before. It's an incredible word. What, like something like a staying vacation? That's incredible. Did you come up with that word yourself?" And I was like, "Yes." It's like I also invented brunch. I'm very excited. But we're in this staycation, and where it is, where we went was this place on the south coast. It's called Port Lympne, it's near Folkestone. Basically, it's a little hotel in the side, a zoo/safari park, right? So if you like animals, which I do, you get to spend loads of time like really close up with the animals. You can feed them and stuff. It's quite good. Yeah, all these exotic animals, lions, tigers. You get to go there, you know, not having to go to the sort of normal hostile environment that they live in. We have to go to Kent, you know, there are sacrifices involved in every holiday. So we went to this place, right, and it was great. My favourite moment in this whole experience was when we went to the squirrel monkey enclosure, which was quite a big cage, maybe the size of this room or something, and there were loads of these little tiny squirrel monkeys, which you've never seen them. They're so adorable, they're really cute. They came in with like nuts and stuff, they jumped all over us and they were eating them. I had one of my favourite days I've had in years, right? Like 10 minutes of absolute pure joy. And this guy walked into the enclosure and said, "Okay everybody, just to make it clear that the reason we let you in here is so you can see how cool and cute the monkeys are, but also to make it very clear that you must never have a squirrel monkey as a household pet." And I just thought, that is not the message I'm getting here. The message I'm getting is that they would be fucking incredible pets. I've got one in my pocket and it's fucking staying there. The guys who worked there were a little bit strange. Like, one of the guys who worked there was showing us around the safari area, quite a big field with all the different animals in. And he described every single animal in exactly the same way. See if you can spot what he did, right? He was like, "Okay, ladies and gentlemen, over there we've got some giraffe. Very attractive animals. And behind them, oh, I think you see some zebras. Yeah, some zebras coming around the corner. Very attractive animals. Oh, there we got some camels over there. Some camels, they've still got their winter coats on. A bit shaggy looking, not very attractive animals. Who describes every animal based purely on how attractive it is? I'll tell you who, someone who works with animals and has thought about fucking them. Let's be honest. So, it's been a pleasure talking to you guys. As I say, I've been trying to sort of reduce the amount of travelling I do. I do have to travel a lot, like, in this country, and one of the things that is not usually fun is I don't often get to go to hotels as cool as that. Often they're pretty rubbish places. I checked into one the other day, and the guy behind the counter had obviously been there like a million years, done the same script with every single customer. It was just like, "All right, Mr. Greens, you're here for one person for one night, is that correct? One person for one night? Yes, that is correct. How many room keys would you like?" So I said, 11. Yeah, because I'm going out later and I'm feeling absent-minded. And lucky. True story. But I told my friend that story who works in a hotel, and she said, oh no, that's not the worst answer I've ever had to that question. I said, really? She went, yeah. Once asked the bloke, how many room keys would you like? And he said, well, one for me. And one for you. It's creepy, isn't it? I'm glad you mostly went at that. It's creepy. High level creepiness. But I've got to say, I really like telling that story in front of big groups of people like this tonight, because I suspect at least one man in here is thinking, I'm going to try that. On the next Chingford football tour, I'm going to fucking try that. Guys, you did great. Enjoy the rest of your night. Have a nice week.